Did you see the news today? I picked up this morning's edition of the Times-Union, and there was an article on the front page about Elizabeth, about the upcoming trial, and I gave some quotes. But as I opened the newspaper, there's like 2 full pages about the background, and I had a flashback because a couple years ago I was living in an apartment in Troy, and I had a dream that I was naked and giving birth, that I opened a newspaper and it was 2 inside pages of me naked and giving birth. And I understood that to be symbolic. I understood it to mean that I was going to have to be exposed. I was Jane Doe in this case for 20 years. And at that time, somebody who worked at the New York State Capitol was threatening to dox me as the Boxley rape victim. He actually still works at the New York State Capitol. And I understood that I didn't want anybody to have that leverage over me. And if I was going to be Ricky Shaw, who was raped by Michael Boxley instead of Jane Doe, that I was going to do it on my terms and I was going to tell my story. I was going to talk about what happened to me as much as I didn't want to. I wanted to live a normal life and take care of my kids and garden and not talk about rape and domestic violence and sexual violence all the time. But here we are. I had that dream and I woke up crying, begging God to not have to talk about the events that happened. But I understood it's my mission. I have been through it. I understand it. And I also understand the legislative process. And now I'm incredibly well versed in the courts as well. So how do I use those giftings and this experience to make a change? We're in the summer of justice. We're praying for 91 days for Elizabeth Crothers as she comes up to her trial. The article does a fantastic job talking about why this is so important. I am prepared to testify at that trial at the end of the month, and I do so fearlessly. I know the article said that the state is planning on calling Boxley to go and testify as well. I don't care. I will stand in front of anybody at this point, and I have stood in front of packed rooms for the last year talking about what has happened to me, what I'm seeing in the courts, what I have seen in the Capitol, and I'm going to continue speaking about that. So the Attorney General wants to make us stand in front of the man who raped us. Bring it on. But it is a summer of justice, and we are in Revelation. And if you haven't watched Elizabeth's documentary that the Times-Union posted today, I'm going to link it in the comments. It is absolutely heart-wrenching. I don't know how anybody could watch it and not cry. And it ties in perfectly to our summer of justice, because today's verse in the guide is Revelation 21:4, which says, "He will wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain, for the old order of things has passed away." The old order of things has passed away. New York State, I think it's time for the rape culture in the Capitol to pass away. I am asking all of my prayer warriors who are part of the Summer of Justice to be praying Revelation 21:4, to be praying for Elizabeth. And if you do watch the video, the documentary, and that I'm going to link to in the comments, if you would please leave an encouraging word for her, and if you would please be praying for her and let her know that you're praying for her. This is such a vulnerability. This video, This is so hard, guys. And I think, when I spoke with the New York Post in April, the comments in the Post were wild. And I just want to remind everybody that there are real people, there's real trauma behind this. So please be kind, be encouraging, and be praying. This is a summer of justice. My name is Ricky Shaw, and I am the founder of Roses from Ashes.